This is the fastest way to lose 10 kg without putting it back on. Before I get into this video, I just want to say that this is not about crash dieting. I do not believe in crash dieting. They're always going to cause you to lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight, and you just go around in that yo-yo. Now, the reason I don't believe in crash dieting is because I think they will cause severe restrictions to your diet, which will cause you to binge long term. You'll relapse, you'll crave a lot of food, your hunger hormones can spike up, you can be starving, which again, I just think when you have a moment of weakness, it's going to result in a binge, which will then put you back to square one. When it comes to crash diets, you think they're absolutely amazing at the start. That is because the initial weight loss is mainly water weight, which, you know, you can go in a diet. Let's say the crash diet says do 1,000 calories for 2 weeks and you'll lose this sort of weight. Because you're cutting your calories, because you're cutting your carbs, you're going to then drop a lot of water. That's what makes people buy into it so much more. But when you increase in calories, when you have a little bit more carbs, your water can spike back up, which then causes that yo-yo. When it comes to sustainable weight loss, what do I think is a sustainable approach? So what is the actual rate of sustainable weight loss? Now, I think around 0.5 to 1% of your body weight every single week is sustainable. So let's say you're a 70 kg person. That is going to come to around 0.35 to 0.75 kg of body fat every single week. Now, I would just aim for the middle line, so 0.5. To lose 0.5 kg of body fat every single week, you've just got to be in a 500 calorie deficit per day or 3,500 calories across the week. The reason why I think the 0.5 to 1% of body weight is the best approach is because if you lose quicker than that, or the reason why I think the 0.5 to 1% of your body weight every single week is the ideal, the perfect situation, is because if you go any quicker, you can be losing muscle mass, which is going to have long-term negative impacts. You lose your muscle mass. With the loss of that, you then require less calories to maintain the weight that you're at. That means you have to eat less food. You see where I'm coming from. Everyone loves a bit of food. So what we don't want is the reduction of muscle mass, so then you can't consume more food when you bring back up. So having it slightly slower, but sustainably there, maintaining the muscle mass, and not pushing yourself so much so you're absolutely starving. That is the sweet spot. So calories in versus calories out is the biggest thing everyone needs to just get their head around. It doesn't matter what dietary approach you take, whether that's keto, Mediterranean diet, carnivore, vegetarian, vegan, whatever approach you want to take for your nutrition, it's all about calories in versus calories out. You will not lose weight if you're not in a calorie deficit. Bottom line, no matter what anyone says, you have to be eating less calories than your body needs to lose weight. So as I mentioned, I think the sweet spot is around 500 calories. What I would recommend is tracking your food. Now, you don't have to track food forever. I have a lot of people that come in the program, you know, they track food, or they're like, oh my God, I don't want to be tracking forever. That is not what you want to be doing. But tracking your food gives you a much better idea on the nutrition that you're eating. You can start to actually understand your portions much better. You can look at a chicken breast and kind of gauge what type of protein it's got, what type of calories, and that's going to help you long term, because then all you've got to do is just weigh your food out. Now, I do think weighing out food is super important, no matter if you're trying to lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight, because you'll never bake a cake without measuring out the ingredients that you're going to put in it. So why would you not do that for your body? If you want to maintain the weight that you're at, you should be knowing the portions, the sizes of everything that you're having to maintain that sort of weight. And measuring out doesn't take that long. It also helps you not overcook something. So you know your ideal serving of rice. Pouring it in, you can pour a bit too much and then you've got wastage. That is like another important thing with weighing food out, is just saving money on wastage. The next thing is protein. Protein. It is super important. Each day, I'd be aiming to have around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kg of body weight. If you work in pounds, let's do 0.7 to around 1.1 grams per pound. The reason why it's so important, protein helps maintain your muscle. It helps you recover as well, which means when it comes to you're in a calorie deficit and your body's burning, that's going to result in it burning majority of fat. Yes, you'll lose a tiny bit of muscle. You cannot prevent that, but you want the big focus to be body fat loss, not muscle or just weight loss. So if you can help maintain your muscles by eating more protein, it's then going to result in the body fat mainly being burnt, and that helps with body recomposition. You might find that some people that don't prioritize protein and they just lose weight, they can kind of look in that skinny fat type of vibe, and that's just because they've lost muscle mass as well. Yes, they've lost the weight, they've got skinnier, but does it look great? No. So that's a huge prompt to keep eating your protein. It's not just a bodybuilder thing. It helps keep you fuller. It helps maintain that muscle, which is going to be so important for your overall look. You can also look at it from a scientific point of view. Protein has a higher thermic value, which means it takes more calories to digest that food and speed up your caloric burn throughout that day. The next thing would be strength training over cardio. And it's just why muscle is more important for one, maintaining the weight that you lose, but also for your weight loss journey. So for actually maintaining the weight that you've lost, you've got to look at it this way. Muscle tissue burns more calories to maintain itself than fat, which means it will raise your metabolism. And that means you can eat more food long term. You get where I'm coming from. I've spoken about it a few times in this video now. When it comes to strength training though, you don't need to be going 5 times a week. You just need to be picking something that is maintainable for you and you can uphold. So whether that's 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, just something that you know that you can commit to, that's enjoyable for you, beneficial, and it's going to help maintain the muscle that you've got. That's all I would look at with strength training. Pick exercises that you do enjoy but challenge you. Push the weights in as many sessions as you can. That means focusing on progressive overload, which will help build the muscle, which will help maintain the muscle. And long term, that's going to keep that metabolism a lot higher, which is what we want. The final thing for losing 10 kg and keeping it off and not rebounding is consistency. It's better to be consistently good than occasionally great. What that basically means is one perfect week will not impact anything like 12 consistent weeks. You could have one perfect week, one bad week, one perfect week, one bad week. That's only 2 out of 4. Where you could have, let's say, in percentages, 100%, 20%, 100%, 20%, kind of like the commitment levels. You could have consistent weeks of 80%. You're going to move that needle so much more. Basically, you need a plan that you know you can stick to 80% of the time, because that is what's going to continuously drive the results that you're working towards. Not something that you have to be 100% every single day. It's not achievable. Everyone's human. They're going to have their ups and downs. They're going to have perfect days. They're going to have bad days. And the biggest thing is we just need something that you know that even on a day where you can't be bothered, you can just stick to the basics and be consistent, which is going to result in you losing weight. And you just need to look at things as build the habits, build the systems that fit around your life. That means going to the gym or working out just fits within the life. Building habits around food and choices like that. It means when your motivation drops or your willpower is out of the window, you can still maintain these habits, these systems that will keep you just ticking forward. It's kind of like autopilot. That's how you will lose weight and keep it off for life. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you press subscribe. I'm posting 2 weight loss videos every single week to help you with your weight loss journey.